How's it going, everyone? Bass here. So last week I made a video going over 3 defensive free agents the Packers could look into. So for this video today, I'll be doing the same thing, but for offense. But firstly, this list will not include any wide receivers such as Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, Jarvis Landry, etc. I made a free agent wide receiver specific video a couple weeks ago. I'll put the link right above if you want to go watch that if you haven't already. And the wide receiver free agent pool isn't anything crazy to begin with, so I feel like adding them into this video to be kind of redundant. And nothing has changed with the Green Bay Packers salary cap since I made the defensive video for free agents. They still have $15.1 million in cap space. Over half of that will go towards the rookie class, but the Packers can also get more salary cap room by making a few moves. So they have a little wiggle room if they do want to go out and sign some veterans and some depth players like I'm going to mention today. So let's get it started. So my first one would be a reunion, and that would be bringing back tight end Jared Cook. This would give the Packers a vertical tight end that they need until Robert Tonyan is able to be 100% and back. And although Jared Cook is 34 years old, he still had a decent year last year and obviously has that chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. So there really wouldn't be that whole chemistry barrier where it seems like anytime a rookie or a new receiver / tight end comes in, they kind of have to learn Aaron Rodgers before really getting on the field. I think he could be plug and play right away at that vertical tight end role. When he was in Green Bay in 2016, he had 48 receptions for 606 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's actually had over 46 receptions and 550 yards every year since leaving Green Bay. So he's been consistent, almost reaching 900 yards in 2018, which was with then Oakland at the time. So although he may not be the player he once was earlier in his career, he's still been consistent enough every single year as a veteran. And this would be adding another great veteran into the tight end room, joining Mercedes Lewis, and he's already a friend of Aaron Rodgers, so that's just another plus. Like I said, the Packers are currently missing that vertical tight end with Robert Tonyan still recovering from that ACL injury. A tight end to push up the middle of the field, push up the seam. Mercedes Lewis isn't that. I don't think Josiah DeGuara is that. Now, although, we could attempt to see what Josiah DeGuara can do in that role, I just really don't see it. Same with Dominique Daphne. They're both kind of that H-back type of role tight ends. They will probably draft a tight end, but like I said, who knows if that guy would even be ready day one with Aaron Rodgers. On the flip side, Jared Cook, like I said, would be. Now, obviously, Jared Cook isn't going to do much in the blocking game. That's really not what he's for. That's what someone like Mercedes Lewis is for, but Jared Cook has surely made some crazy plays for the Packers the 1 year he was here. Jared Cook's last deal with the Chargers was for 1 year, $4.5 million. I don't see him commanding that much. He's 34 years old, likely in the last year or last couple of years of his career, so I think closer to $2 million is a safe bet. Next up, I have some offensive line depth in tackle Cameron Fleming, who was most recently with the Denver Broncos. And in my opinion, this signing would be very similar to the Dennis Kelly signing last year. And to be honest, the Packers could go out and just re-sign Dennis Kelly, but I didn't want this whole list to be of former Packers. But regardless, Green Bay needs to figure out what they're going to do at right tackle. They probably have a plan set in place, whether that's through free agency like this or the draft or both. But, you have a few questions asked. Does Josh Nijman play there? He played well at left tackle when he filled in last year until Elton Jenkins returns. Do you push Royce Newman out to right tackle, then leaving a hole at guard? Or do you draft a rookie who may or may not be ready to start at right tackle day one? Regardless, there is a big question mark at right tackle, and I think bringing in a veteran right tackle like Cameron Fleming to help the depth is necessary. Fleming will be 30 years old at the start of the season and has been in the league since 2014 when he was drafted by the Patriots there in the 4th round. He's played with the Patriots, the Cowboys, the Giants, and then most recently, like I said, the Broncos. Now, last year, Fleming only played 5 games. That's because he only played when he was needed, whether that be due to injury or whatnot. But he showed great depth when he did indeed play. He had 285 total snaps with a 71.7 PFF grade, and he didn't allow a single sack and only 8 pressures in those 5 games. And Fleming has actually only allowed 20 sacks in his 8-year career. All of his snaps in the last 2 years have came at right tackle. Now he can play left tackle in a pinch, but the Packers need a right tackle, so that's perfect. Overall, he's been a very, very solid depth tackle in his career, and that's exactly what Green Bay needs. We don't need a guy that's going to have to come in here and start the entire season. We need a transition depth veteran right tackle until when Elton Jenkins comes back, which we don't really know when that will be. We saw what happened with David Bakhtiari and his ACL last year. We really don't know. And like I said, Josh Nijman, although he did show great promise, can he play right tackle? Again, we just don't know. And then, of course, if there happens to be another injury, that's just another problem. Fleming's last deal was at a 1 year at the vet minimum, so likely to be the same thing here if the Packers were to sign him. All right, so for my last one at number 3, I know I said I would not mention any wide receivers, but this player, the Packers wouldn't be signing to play wide receiver, and that is Andre Roberts. And he would be signed to play special teams, primarily a returner. Now, I know that's not offense, but hey, the Packers desperately need one. I mean, we cannot kid ourselves. So that's why I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to include this in the video because the Packers don't need a running back. Obviously don't need a quarterback. So I kind of was limited with the potential free agents on offense here. And Andre Roberts has been one of the best returners in the NFL for the past 7 years, totaling 1,000 plus kick return yards in 3 of the last 4 years. Last year, he was on the Houston Texans at first, then the Los Angeles Chargers later in the year. Both teams totaling 37 kick returns for 1,010 yards, which was the most yards in the NFL, and 1 touchdown, which equated to 27.3 yards per attempt, which was 5th best for kick return in the entire NFL. Now, although he didn't return many punts last year, only 20 total, he has in the past, and he's done it well in the past, being top 6 in yards per attempts on punt returns twice in his career. And the Packers don't have a clear returner. It was always a mess at kick return and punt return. Kylan Hill showed some promise, but coming back from a torn ACL, who knows if he can even go do that or if the Packers want him to do that. And the Packers need to sign special teams players regardless, and that's just a fact. And going out and signing a veteran returner who's been doing this for 8 years would be a great start. Just like Cameron Fleming, Andre Roberts' last deal was also a vet minimum, so again, that would likely be the contract given, and I think it would be well worth it. So that does it for my 3 offensive and I guess you could say special teams free agents I think the Packers should look into and potentially sign. And the main theme of this video clearly was veteran presence and depth presence. Now, Andre Roberts would start at returner clearly, but the other 2 are just veteran guys that you could bring into this offense. The Packers are taking another shot at a Super Bowl. Veteran guys that would really help the offense and allow them to have depth at certain positions that they need. But I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you be happy with all 3 of these guys? Or are there other free agents on offense that you've been looking at that you think would fit better in Green Bay? Just let me know down in the comments below. And then also, if you are new here, go down and click the subscribe button if you want more Packers news, analysis, and updates. I post almost daily, everything from free agency, the draft, to the salary cap. And I appreciate every single one of you watching my videos and also subscribing. But that about does it for today. I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.